I don't know why it's doing that. All right, guys, what is up? I am going to be basically discussing market shifts and how to trade it. There was another video I made. This one is basically, you can look at as a part 2. I'm going to turn my camera on in a second. Sorry, that's the door you're hearing, because I have the back door open and it's windy as shit today. So yeah, this is basically market shifts part 2. You can see the other one I did on Bitcoin, but this is market shifts part 2, and I want to discuss with you guys basically, sorry, I'm trying to get the fucking camera to float on the fucking top. There it is. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, right now I'm on USD JPY. This is videos for the Forex traders. If you trade futures, watch another video. This video is for Forex traders. What I'm gonna do right now is explain to you why I'm going to be looking at buys for this potentially. And yeah, let's get right into it. So if you trade fair value gaps, supply and demand, anything like that, you do know that the first thing you want to always do is identify your trend, correct? So right now, we can see this obvious giant range on USD JPY. The range are the gray candles, the unhealthy price action. You can see right here, all of this is the unhealthy price action. And right now, price is trying to make its way up to pull back that unhealthy price action. So what I mean by that is, when markets move like this. It goes down, markets will go down and expand, and then it'll retrace itself before continuing to expand. The same thing on the way up. It goes up, right, expands, then it retraces itself, then it continues to go up. And that's what it's doing right now. The market expanded downward, and now it's retracing itself to go up. The cool part is, you can actually, some people would say, okay, so if I'm selling it on the way back down and waiting for that retracement, don't I need to wait hours and hours because it's on the 4-hour chart? No, because when it's on the 4-hour chart, the cool thing about finding gaps and identifying price action on the higher time frames is that you can trade at lower time frames, obviously. But right now, the market is attempting to shift and retrace itself, so I can go on the 15-minute and the smaller time frames, and what I can do is I can identify the obvious shift, which is where price was bearish down here, and then we had a shift from price action being down here, from being bearish to the slope to increasing in demand. And that increase in demand that's happening now, this new range, disrupted this previous trend by taking out the highs that were supposed to be continuing downward. Which highs am I talking about? These highs that I'm drawing on the screen, the ones that I'm circling. All of these highs, the market supposedly was supposed to come back to these and continue the trend. But the market, what did it do? It came up. Look at where the blue arrow is. The market came up and disrupted these previous highs and added demand into the market. And because of that, I'm looking to trade some of these gaps / demand zones on the smaller time frame. And another tip, guys, is you always want to label your time frame. So if you're on a 5-minute time frame, label a gap on the 5-minute. You see the 45-minute time frame right now. The reason I labeled that is because if you go on the 45-minute on TradingView, you can see the gap that I have identified here that I'm pointing the blue arrow to right now. Okay, so that's the importance of, because here's why. Because when you don't label time frames like this, when you try to trade and you're placing setups and doing analysis, you can see all these different entries and all these different zones that you drew, or these fair value gaps that you drew, imbalance gaps, and then you're like, what's going on? I have so many zones that are drawn. Which time frame is that from? And then you're gonna go through analysis paralysis. So it's important to label the time frame so you can quickly go on a chart and say, okay, that was from the 45-minute. Okay, 5-minute time frame. You can go on any time frame, and you can just quickly. It just helps you trade faster. That was a major tip that I learned, and yeah. So right now, the reason why it's called market shift is because it represents the video title. It represents what's happening right now. The market on USD JPY has shifted from being bearish to bullish, potentially because of that demand. Now, because of that demand and the fact that we know retailers can't create that much demand for the market to move this much and show this much volume on the one. Look at the 1-hour chart. Look at the blue volume on the bottom of the screen. Retail traders cannot create that much volume. This has to be institutional activity. Retail traders don't have enough capital to make enough volume in the first place to move the market. They may have collective decisions that create sort of movement, but they'll never be obviously visible like this. You see these giant candles? Retail traders usually don't have a giant candle effect. If you go on the smaller time frames, like 45-minute, the 15-minute, retail trader candles look like all these candles back here, these small candles right there, tiny candles, right? Where that gray is, right in the middle of the screen. These tiny gray candles. That's like retailers that are sitting at home trading with little capital because they don't have enough money to move the market, and then they may have some help from institutions that push their trade into a direction to manipulate price or to do whatever it's trying to do. And right now, price is going to come back down and retrace itself. If not, I could be wrong. That's fine, because it doesn't matter anyway, because when it goes up there, I'm expecting it to come up to these 3-hour levels, which we can go on right now, and I'm expecting a reversal from these 3-hour points. I call them POIs, points of interest, areas that I'm interested in trading in. It is a tool for me that allows me to efficiently do my trading analysis by calling them POIs. So yeah, so any area that I'm interested in trading, I will have a zone or a box drawn on the screen, and you can see that. So yeah, in every video. But yeah, that's pretty much it today. I hope you guys got value off the video, and yeah.